everybody, welcome back to Finnigan 40K Last Stand series. I'm going to say Happy New Year because by the time you guys see this, it will be 2025. It is actually December 31st, 2024, so I'm sneaking one more battle in before. We had a comment from Ironworks. He wanted to see some Ultramarines in there, so the wish has been granted. Here they are. It's pretty cool too because these guys are 8th edition Ultramarines. So some of these models don't exist anymore. They came in the set that had the Death Guard. So I have 5 Hellblasters. The force is led by the old school, well, I can't say old school, but the original captain in Gravis armor, who's right there. He's surrounded by some assault intercessors led by a sergeant with Power Fist. And then I have a squad of 5 intercessors. So the Imperial Fists went with a little bit higher toughness, higher save, because they are, those bulwark fortification guys. I wanted this force to be larger, so there's actually, 16 models here, compared to, I think, the Imperial Fists maybe had 10 or 12. And it's made up of, I think, what the 8th edition definitely had for the Marines, like the Hellblasters were introduced there, so that's a little bit of extra strength and punch for the weaponry. Assault Marines too for some hand-to-hand, because we saw last time the hand-to-hand got pretty crazy, and I'm hoping 5 Assault Intercessors will do maybe better than 3 Blade Guard veterans, but we'll see. And then we have the 5 Intercessors to round this one out. So as the previous battle, the force is exactly the same on the enemy side. It is the Tyranid. All the models are the same. If you guys want to hear more or see what that loadout is, you can check my previous video. I'm going to get started here, and we are going to, of course, have the Imperium Space Marine models going first, as it will be in all these battles, and we're going to see if the Ultramarines can take the Imperial Fists in kill tally by the end of this one. So hope you guys enjoy. Thank you again. The comments have been great. Some pretty good views as well in the previous video, so I'll keep these going and get back to my crusade a little bit further into the new year. Thanks. Alright, so we're going to start this one off with my Hellblasters, shooting at those Von Ryan's Leapers to kind of dwindle them before they can get into the facility. Last time we saw them against the Imperial Fists do some pretty big damage. So the Plasma Incinerators, this is going to be standard. I'm not doing Supercharge yet. It is 2 shots each, so 2 attacks with a 3+ to hit. So this is for my hit roll, 3 pluses. It was okay. Hopefully my luck's going to change there. You guys saw some of my rolls last time, especially in my crusade with my Cadian. I've been rolling not great. So this is a strength 7 weapon versus toughness 5, so this is going to be 3s to wound. Not bad, not bad. So 2 did not wound. And there is a -2, which is fantastic. That's going to bring the Von Ryan Leapers up to their 6+ invulnerable. They usually have a 4+, so it would be 6+ anyways, but they have the 6+ invulnerable. So if any of these are not a 6, that is going to be some wounds delivered to the Von Ryan Leapers in the first shoot. And none of them are 6s, so that is going to be 1 damage apiece. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1 Von Ryan Leaper dead, and then 1 with 1 wound. So that's a really good start for my Space Marines. Do the rest of the shoot, and I will come back and show you guys the outcome. Okay, so that concludes the Ultramarines' first turn. They did their shoot. So I had the Hellblasters here. You'd think maybe I'd be putting it on the Carnifex. The Carnifex toughness is so high that I don't think even Hellblaster Supercharged would affect it too much. It's going to come to that in time, but I wanted to chip away at the Von Ryan's Leapers, so I was able to kill one and take 2 wounds off of another. So these things last time very quick, and the facility is super fast, so I'm trying to cut them down just from learning from the past battle with the Imperial Fists. My assault intercessors, the sergeant with his plasma pistol, as well as all of the heavy bolt pistols fired into Ripper Swarms. There we go, sorry. So they killed one of the Ripper Swarms, which has 4 wounds, and then my captain in Gravis armor. This guy is no longer made. You might be able to get him sometimes, like if there's, I don't know, a made to order or something. But he fired into the Ripper Swarm as well, and one of them is down to 2 wounds, and the other has its remaining 4. The intercessors up here fired with all of their bolt rifles into the termagants, and they were able to finish off 3 of them. Not great rolls. There's 10 shots, and I maybe made, I think maybe 4 or 5 of them, and then that was cut down again just by the amount that I actually wounded with. But 3 termagants are done, so that's good. They're starting to chip away at the numbers. Also, just to show you guys, I like the old school, like 1990s Ultramarines look, so, or maybe early 2000s with the blue and yellow shoulder pads. My painting here is not great because I don't know, 8th edition was like 2016, 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something like that. So my painting has improved. I still have a lot of Ultramarines. I've started to paint them in Ultramarine blue, but this was another type that I used. So if you guys are kind of like, oh, those are really bright Smurf guys, that's why. And then my captain's got the gold shoulder pads, but I did the old school paint scheme. I love it. We're going to see how these guys do, and it's switching back over to the Tyranid right now. I'll come back after their move phase and let you know what has happened there. Be right back. All right, Tyranid move phase for turn 1 has been completed. Once again, we've got a whole line of Von Ryan's Leapers, Ripper Swarms, and everything picking away at that wall. They didn't quite have the movement to be able to jump over the wall yet, so that will have to happen next turn, meaning the Space Marines can fire back and hopefully take some of these models out. But any of the ranged weapons, like the Barb Gaunts, Termagants, Gargoyles, things like that, will be able to shoot. On this side here, the Termagants have all rushed up, the Tervagon, as well as the remaining Termagant brood here. Not a great roll there. I think whichever Space Marine force, and this is again luck, it's not always in regards to your loadout or what happens, but whoever can take out the most of those skittering numbers, I think right off the bat, is probably going to have the best shot at winning the Last Stand series, but we will see. Gargoyles moved right up in behind the Termagants. Screamer Killer's almost right up at the wall again. I think I'm going to have to start firing with my Hell Blasters at the Screamer Killer because we saw last time it completely just tore apart everybody. So I'm going to move over to the Termagant shoot phase now. Well, the Tyranid shoot phase, and we'll see what models remain after that. The great thing is, though, they do have that extra save due to the cover. But these Space Marines are not as heavily armored. I wanted to go with higher numbers and more shots, sort of to be able to have just hopeful more killing with the lesser models of the Tyranid. But we will see what happens here. And yeah, let's go Ultramarines. Hopefully you guys can hold off and not lose any models during this first turn. We'll see how it goes. Be right back with the results. Okay, so that ends the Tyranid shoot phase. Not good for the Ultramarines. So that lower toughness of the Intercessor and Assault Marines is not good. So I'll know that maybe next time going in, but we'll see. This is also kind of part of the structure of the lore of each of the units. So I thought this was, pretty basic Ultramarine kind of section. So they've been pretty badly decimated. I'll just sum up what happened. So this entire side here, the Gargoyles, Termagants, Screamer Killer, and Termagants over here shot into the Hellblasters, and they killed 2 of them, and 1 is down to 1 wound. So this might be over really quick. That's kind of my punch for this fight, with a bit of a higher strength for those weapons. Over here, the Barb Gaunts let loose on the Assault Marines, as well as this big section of Termagants. They fired in with their flesh borers, and even with that additional cover save of 2+ for these guys, there were 2 assault intercessors killed, and then 1 is also down to 1 wound. These were the only ones that kind of were able to withstand the fire, so that 2+ save helped here. Also some of the worst rolls I've ever had for the Tyranid so far. So the Termagant brood here shot, and it's probably the most 1s and 2s I've ever seen. I wish I had it on the dice camera, but you guys just have to take my word for it. And a lot of them did not fire, so these Marines didn't have to make any saves, and they're still full. So that Intercessor squad is kind of my bulwark right now with the captain. And then also the Stinger salvos from the Tervagon fired into the Assault Intercessors as well. So that's why they were so badly damaged. The Barb Gaunt, or the Biovore here, fired over and dropped off a Spore Mine just right in behind there. So that's within 9 inches of this unit here. So hopefully the Assault Intercessors can take that out or something before it gets too close. It can do a ton of damage. Also apologies too, I think I'm getting a cold, so I'm kind of like slurring some of my words, and also sniffling a lot, so apologies for picking that up on the mic. There was a little bit of that last battle, but I think it's gotten worse. So I'm hoping I can beat the cold there. I don't want to have a sick New Year's, but we'll see what happens. But we're going to move now back over to the Ultramarines and see how these Smurf guys can do, and hopefully dwindle some of these numbers and get their kill tally up. Because right now, the way things are going, I do not think it's going to be a very long battle. But here we go. Good luck, Ultramarines. All right, so just to do a quick recap there, the move, I did move some guys this turn because they were just getting shredded out in the open. So the captain and the remaining Assault Intercessors have moved back in. That spore mine is lurking around, but I'm hoping with their shoot phase right now, they're going to be able to take that out, and this is going to buy them a little bit of time, hopefully some range. As soon as everything comes over the walls, they might be able to fire. So I'm moving to the shoot phase now. My Hell Blasters, as well as my Intercessors, have not moved, so they're going to be able to get the benefit of the heavy weapon for both of their weapon systems. And then I'm going to show you guys the outcome and what they killed for the Tyranid, and then I'm really hoping I can get that spore mine, because if it moves in, it's going to be tricky to get, and it might kill a few more of those assault intercessors. So I will be right back and show you guys how the shoot phase goes. If I think there's going to be any kind of dramatic rolls, I'll put that on camera. If not, I'll just plow ahead and show you guys the outcome. Okay, Ultramarine shoot phase is done. Not great. To start off, my Intercessors tried to soften up these Von Rein's Leapers. They only were able to strip off 1 wound from them, because that's a toughness 5 versus a strength 4 weapon. I only wounded with 1 of the shots, and luckily it's got that -1 AP that brought the Von Rein's Leaper up to a 5+, and it couldn't make it. So there's 2 Von Rein Leapers there with 3 wounds, 1 with 2. My Assault Intercessors in here, they were able to kill the spore mine, so that is no longer a threat. And I'm thinking I might be moving these guys down and possibly into this tower to hold off as long as they can with those ranged weapons and try to fight off and kill as many guys as they can to up their tally. The Hellblasters, okay, they were able to kill the 1 wound remaining Von Rein Leaper and then wound this one, so this one has 2 wounds left. But there's still a ton of hand-to-hand combat models coming in. I was really hoping they were going to soften them up a little bit so the captain could, deal his damage with his power fist, but we will see what happens. It is now moving back over to the Tyranid, and they are going to be in the facility during this turn, it looks like. There's a lot that are within range. Barb Gaunts are going to be firing too with that heavy ability as well, so they haven't moved, so they're going to get great rolls for hits. Another Spore Mine's probably going to be coming in, so I will cover the movement from the Tyranid as soon as I get back and show you guys how dire the situation is for our Smurf Ultramarines. Be right back. Well, shit, the Tyranid are in the facility. We've got 3 Von Rein's Leapers staring at the captain. My Assault Intercessors around the corner have another Spore Mine to deal with, as that was shot by the Biovore. My Assault, or my Intercessors up here are still free to fire down, but they will be in hand-to-hand combat shortly as well. And they also have to worry about the Barb Gaunts. The Termagants did not move. The Turvagon did, however, as we saw last battle. It's got some great hand-to-hand combat abilities, so it moved right up to the wall. Termagants are going to be staying back to fire this time. The Hive Mind is learning. Up here, the Hellblasters are in hand-to-hand combat with a Von Rein's Leaper. It leapt right up from the wall there and into hand-to-hand combat with them. The Screamer Killer is inside the facility, as is the Parasite of Mortrex. The Gargoyles are also inside. These Termagants are scratching at the wall, and then these Termagants have held back as well. If there's anyone that survives that hand-to-hand combat, they'll be able to shoot them possibly next turn. So Ultramarines are in trouble pretty quick in this one, and I think that's just due to the toughness here, but we will see. Maybe I'm going to start rolling really, really well for them, and luck will be on their side. This tower here is probably going to become the Alamo, so I'm going to be trying to get everybody back there to at least hold off. Didn't really use it last game, but I might have to this time. And for my Intercessors to get over there, like, this Spore Mine's a bit of a problem, and I don't want to waste an entire section of Ultramarine Intercessors to fire at that, so I'm going to have to see what happens here. But we're going over to the Tyranid shoot phase. I'm going to show you guys what happens. There's only a few models open for shooting, and then I'll come back and we'll see who is left for the Ultramarines, and then it will go back over to them for their movement. I have to really get some strategy going here because I might lose some models. So I'll do the shoot phase. I'll actually do the hand-to-hand combat for the Tyranid too, and I will come right back and show you guys what's happened to our Ultramarines. Alright, gonna roll for some Tyranid here. This is the Flesh Borers from that 17 creature section of Termagants. They are hitting on a 4+. The rolls for them continue to be quite poor, so that's good. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to fend off some of these attacks. We will see. So all these are hits. It is a strength 5, which is super surprising, but that little Flesh Borer packs some punch against toughness 4, wounding on 3s. And that was a better roll for the Tyranid there, so only a couple that did not wound. And now there is no AP to that, so it's going to be the Intercessor Marines regular 3+ save. Really hoping that they can save all these here. Let's see how it goes. So, geez, 6, 6, 5, 3, and then this is 1 dead intercessor. So a 2 and a 1. No, sorry, this is a save because they have the cover. So there's 1 wound that's been removed from them. They continue to fight at full strength, that unit. I'm going to do the rest of the shoots for the Tyranid, and I'll be right back on my other camera to show you, as well as the hand-to-hand combat. Go Ultramarines! Alrighty, going to try to sum up that turn. A lot happened. The Von Rein's Leaper that was remaining went in and shredded the 3 Hellblasters, killed them all. Not good. That was the punch that I had left with my weapons that would be able to maybe hurt something like a Screamer Killer or some of the higher toughness models like the Turvagon. Over here, you guys saw on the dice tray that the Intercessors survived 1 attack, but more came in, and they have been brought down to 3 from 5. So I don't know how many are going to actually make it to the Alamo here. My Space Marines in the middle also took some fire from the Screamer Killer and killed some intercessors there. And then the Barb Gaunts luckily fired with a lot of shots because they have a D6, so each one was firing D6. And the Gravis Armored Captain was able to fend them all off with his higher toughness. So it's going back over to the Ultramarines now. I'm going to have to really play this smart because there's not much left here. Possibly kind of an all-around defense there in the middle of the facility, or try to get over to the Alamo. But there's that spore mine back there that hasn't moved. It's sort of waiting for them to move over there. And if you get within 3 inches of that, it's going to explode. So here we go. Ultramarines, try to hold on as long as you can. We're going to do the move. I'll come right back, show you guys what happened. And shooting and possibly hand-to-hand. So here we go. Okay, to sum up the Space Marine, Ultramarine move phase. This is the reason I picked Tyranid, because they're so, like, they just want biomass from anywhere. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's Orc, if it's, Death Guard, if it's Khorne, if it's Human, if it's Space Marine. So they're just this, like, never-ending horde, and that's why I think they're kind of the universe's enemy. And I might be putting some, like, Chaos Space Marines against them in the future. Definitely some human models, maybe some of my Astra Militarum, my Cadian, see how that goes. But I wanted to move over to the Alamo here, to the ladder, and this is just one of the, Tyranid abilities. So that Spore Mine, I didn't move it. The Hive Mind is telling it to stay right there. Because if I had moved to that ladder, it would have exploded and possibly killed my 2 guys. So I'm going to move to the chute. I'm going to hopefully take it out because it does have a very low toughness. But then there's one more that the Biovore can fire over. The Biovore can also just fire regularly too, and everything's in range. My my intercessors moved back up off the building, and they are doing an all-around defense with the Captain in Gravis armor. The way this is going, I think he's going to probably be the last model alive, but we will see. We still have the Sergeant with Power Fist, one of his assault intercessors, but it's pretty quick into the battle, and they're already decimated. We're going to see how it goes, though, try to get this kill tally up. I'm going to do the shoot phase. I'm definitely not getting into hand-to-hand combat because that would be suicide at this point. But I'm going to try to take out as many models as I possibly can before they swarm this group. And it might be over this next turn. We'll see how it goes. Maybe the luck of the roll will be on their side. So here we go. Good luck, Ultramarines. Alright, so I thought I'd do this one too. Might be a bit dramatic. We'll see. This may be hopefully the death of that Von Rein's Leaper. So this is my Captain in Gravis armor firing his Bolt Storm Gauntlet. It is 3 attacks, hitting on 2+. All are through. That's great. I wish I'd had that earlier with my Assault Intercessors, but what can you do? It is Strength 4, however, versus Toughness 5, so 5s to wound. And I got 3s across the board. So my rolls continue here. This is crazy. My luck seems to be like this is from my Cadian Crusade as well as these ones so far. Not amazing rolls from my allied models. It now moves back over to the Tyranid, and I'll show you guys their move phase when we get back. Okay, just before we move to the Tyranid move, I just want to show you guys that the Assault Intercessors were able to take out that Spore Mine. However, nothing else happened. So my Assault Intercessors tried to fire into, or my intercessor, sorry, tried to fire into the Von Rein's Leaper, and nothing happened. And then, as you saw as well, my Captain in Gravis armor, I might not show those rolls, we'll see, but rolled very poorly. He got 3 3s, he needed 5s, so no wounds were allocated to the Von Rein's Leaper. And now you can see what's coming into this facility. We're moving over to the Tyranid turn right now, and I think every single model is probably going to be in hand-to-hand combat. So I will be right back and show you guys what's going on there, and then we might get some rolls in the dice tray. Hopefully these Marines can hold on, but it is not looking good right now. Okay, and that Tyranid movement phase saw the facility completely overrun. The captain is now in hand-to-hand combat with the Screamer Killer. Maybe by some miracle he'll be able to survive that. The intercessors, I think, are pretty much done. There was the surviving Von Ryan's Leaper from that original unit, as well as the 3 and additional Ripper Swarms in behind. So those, I don't know if those guys are going to survive without any kind of invulnerable save. We'll see what happens. The Turvagon has smashed the wall down and is in the facility. The Ripper Swarms have come around the corner here. Another Spore Mine has been fired in right behind the Assault Intercessors. The Termagant stayed at the wall. The Parasite of Mortrex, as well as the entire Gargoyle Horde, is now inside the facility as well with a 12-inch move. They should be able to fly in next turn if they're still going and lock in with these Intercessors. The Spore Mine's also going to be floating, so they're going to have to see if they're going to be shooting, hiding, what's going to happen there. This is about kill tallies though, so I don't think they're going to want to hide. They're going to want to try to fight back and kill some more units so at least their tally can go up. And then these Termagants are just hanging out back here. So these guys could have all rushed the facility, but they're waiting in case there's any ranged possibilities. Barb Gaunts as well aren't really going to be able to shoot anything this turn, as well as these Termagants here. This should be enough right here to possibly end the battle this turn, but we will see. I am going to come back in just a sec after all of the hand-to-hand combat has been resolved and any possible shooting. I don't think these Assault Marines are in range from anything that can shoot because the Turvagon can't see them. And let's see the line of sight here. The Barb Gaunts might actually be able to shoot into the Assault Intercessor Sergeant, but no, they'd be plugging the Von Ryan in the back of the head, so they're not going to do that. So this is going to be a complete hand-to-hand combat round for Tyranid, and I will come back and show you guys the outcome of that. Might roll in the dice tray too there to show you how this epic fight is going to go down. The Captain and Gravis Armor versus the Screamer Killer, and then I'll roll this, so this is going to be tons of rolls, and we'll come back and show you guys how many Ultramarines survived. Pretty depressing round there, so I wanted to show you guys my pug Homer first. He's all comfy in his little blanket before we get to the sadness of what happened to our Ultramarines. They're still going, a few of them. Homer's been cheering me on the whole time. Really tired, tough life. So the Intercessors, it's crazy. The Von Ryan's Leapers have 18 attacks between 3 of them, so I didn't even have to roll for the Screamer, the Ripper Swarm, sorry, or the other Von Ryan's Leaper. They were able to save 4 attacks that went through for wounds, but the remaining ones were enough to kill them. It was 6 that did not save, so that is 2 wounds per Intercessor. 2 times 3, 6, so they're dead. The Captain, as we saw on the dice tray, was able to actually deliver some wounds back to the Screamer Killer. I'm very happy that I remembered that special ability, or he would have been dead for sure, and apologies for not getting that earlier. I'll make sure the rest of the battle we have that damage. Always good to check rules just in case, but the Screamer Killer's down to 6. The Captain is also down to 6. The Assault Intercessors are still back here. They were not in hand-to-hand, so those are our 3 remaining Ultramarine models with a whole bunch of Tyranid coming right into the facility. So it is back to them for their move and for their shoot, and I will come back and show you what they've been able to kill. Got to try to get this kill tally up because it's not looking too great right now, but who knows what will happen. So let's see how they do this turn. I'll be right back with their move and show you guys what happened. Okay, so very quick move for the Ultramarines is there are only 3 models left. The Captain and Gravis Armor, as well as the 2 Assault Intercessors, have gone in on that last Von Ryan's Leaper to try to take it out and up their kill tally. I could have had these guys continue running around the facility, going up in the tower here, but the Spore Mine could have got them. These things could have flown right up into the tower, so they're going down fighting. They're going to go in hand-to-hand combat with this Von Ryan's Leaper, hopefully kill it, and then they're going to be absolutely consumed by the remaining Tyranid models. But let's see first if they can actually kill this thing. I'm going to go to my dice tray and show you guys that roll. I'm going to start off with the Gravis Captain. The Von Ryan's Leaper has 2 wounds remaining. The Assault Intercessor is not the greatest strength with the chain swords. The Power Fist is actually pretty good, but we'll see how that goes, and I'll come right back after the dice roll, and we'll see if that Von Ryan's Leaper is still there or if it was killed. Okay, so this is possibly the last turn for the Ultramarines this game. We will see. This is the Gravis Captain and the 2 Assault Intercessors versus the Von Ryan Leaper. There's going to be the Master Crafted Power Weapon hitting on 2 pluses. So I'm going to do 2 kind of chunks of rolling here. So there's that. And then he also has his Power Fist, which is 5. And that's going to be hitting on 2+. So I'm just it's you can do this with your games too, is just to organize how the dice roll. So this is our master crafted power weapon. It's a strength 5. What I'm actually going to do first is I'll roll for the power fist because it's a strength 8 versus toughness 5. So I'm going to be wounding on 3s here with that. So all through 3, 5, 5, 5. Great roll. It is a -2 to AP, which brings our Von Ryan's Leaper up to its 6+ invulnerable save. So this is the save. If there's any here that are not a 6, the Von Ryan's Leaper has been killed. So rolled pretty good there for the first couple, but there's one save, and then each power fist attack is 2 damage. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Enough to kill a few Von Ryan's Leapers, but that one is dead, and the Ultramarines have at least taken out that unit. Impossibly what is their final turn. So it's going back to the Tyranid now, but I will show you guys the outcome of that fight and kind of what's around them and what's to come. So I'll be right back. Alright, that's the end of the hand-to-hand. As we saw in the dice tray, the Von Ryan's Leaper was killed by the Captain in Gravis armor. They are now at the mercy of the Tyranid move. The Screamer Killers there, the Von Ryan's Leapers, the Ripper Swarms, the Gargoyles, the Parasite of Mortrex, the Turvagon. Pretty much everything's in the vicinity. So I'm going to go to the Tyranid move, and we're going to come right back and show you guys what's in hand-to-hand combat. If by some way the Ultramarines survive this attack, it's going to be an absolute miracle. We'll see how it goes. There is some invulnerable saves there with the Captain, so you never know. And kind of like in chess, apologies to any Ultramarine fans, I did the hand-to-hand combat with the Carnifex, or the Screamer Killer, and I did not include the attacks from the Power Fist from the Captain. So like in chess, when you move your finger off a piece, that's your move. It's locked in. I forgot that, so there could have been a few more wounds dealt to the Carnifex, or a Screamer Killer, but this time if it goes in, those wounds are going to be, or the damage is going to be halved. And I'm going to be putting all the wounds onto the Captain from the attack because he's got the best chance of surviving. So it's very possible that these Assault Intercessors could maybe survive. But I will come back, show you guys the move for Tyranid first, and then we'll get into hand-to-hand combat after that. So I will be right back. Okay, so looking very similar to that last stand by the Imperial Fists, this remaining Ultramarines army has been completely surrounded. They are currently facing Von Ryan's Leapers, Screamer Killer, Ripper Swarms. The Turvagon's not quite in hand-to-hand combat range. The Parasite of Mortrex actually can fly in here too because it's within 12, so that's going to be at the back. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to be doing hand-to-hand combat, and all of the initial wounds are going to be against the Captain because I'm hoping by some chance his invulnerable save is going to save him by however many attacks this is going to be. As we saw with the Von Ryan's Leapers, they have 6 attacks per model, so that's going to be a total of 18, and that's not even including the Screamer Killer, Parasite of Mortrex, and all that good stuff. So these Ultramarines, I think, are done this turn, but we will definitely fight until the end, and hopefully they can fight back a bit and maybe take out another model or two to up that kill tally. But here we go. Last stand, Ultramarines in the Finnigan 40k Last Stand series. Be right back to show you guys the outcome of the hand-to-hand, and I may roll some off-camera just to build up that suspense. So here we go. Okay, so this is Tyranid turn, possibly last turn of this game. It is the Von Ryan's Leapers with 18 attacks, 6 for each model, hitting on 3+, absolutely crazy. But the Gravis Captain has a toughness of 6, so I'm hoping that's going to save him. We'll see how it goes. So, a few misses in there actually that did not hit for the hand-to-hand. It is toughness 5, or strength 5 as I mentioned, versus toughness 6, so that's going to be 5s to wound. Not a great roll. Things are looking pretty good. And it is a -1 to AP, which brings our Captain up to his 4+ invulnerable save. So he saved 1. 1 was not saved, however, so he has taken 2 wounds. So just a quick correction there. Forgot that ability again, so it's halved the damage. So the Terminator, or the Gravis Captain, received 1 wound instead of 2, so he's down to 5. This is now the Screamer Killer coming in with 10 attacks, hitting on a 3+. Have to remember the damage for this one though, because it's going to be halved if there's any that happens. So that's pretty good for the Gravis Captain. These are hits, and it's going to be strength 10 versus toughness 6, so wounding on a 3+. And that's not good though. So there's 5 attacks that have gone through. We're going to be seeing the damage here. I'm keeping that in mind this time. So it is a -2 to AP. The captain, however, has a 4+ invulnerable. So if he makes any 4s here, he has saved those wounds. A few were saved. That's good. 2 were not saved, and we're cutting the damage in half this time, so I remember. So it is going to be, instead of 3 damage per attack, it would usually be 3, 6, and he'd be dead. It is going to be, it's going to be 1.5, so 1, 2, he's down to 1 wound. So you round up, he is down to 1 wound. He had 5, so that is 4 in. He is still alive. This is exactly what I was hoping he would do, try to keep those assault intercessors going. And now it's moving over to the Parasited Mortrex. Okay, so the Parasited Mortrex has a couple of different melee attacks. So the first one's going to be the Barbed Ovipositor, which is hitting on a 2+. Very low strength though, so we'll see what happens. It did go. It is a strength 3 versus toughness 6, so it needs a 6 to wound. Did not get it, so that first attack did nothing. The Clawed Limbs, however, 6 attacks at strength 5, a little bit better. So this is hitting on 2+. And all have hit. It is a strength 5 versus toughness 6, so these are going to be 5s to wound. And only 1 is through. We have to remember to have the damage here. So this is going to be a -1 to AP, so it's a 4+. Captain Gravis Armor's invulnerable save. That's not good. So he has done the Clawed Limbs. It's actually only 1, so that has been nullified from the Gravis Armor. So the Captain Gravis Armor still remains with the 1 wound. We, however, now have the Ripper Swarms to deal with, so that will be the next amount of rolls, and we will see if this Gravis Captain, by some chance, can fight back and kill some of these models off. Okay, 1 more round, so I think those Assault Intercessors are actually going to survive because of the Gravis Captain and his abilities. So this is the Ripper Swarms now. They have 3 attacks per. So, sorry, 6 attacks per, and that's 18. So this is hitting on 5+ though. So very high roll for them to actually be able to hit. I guess because they're really tiny, you could kind of squish them under your boot. So only a few have actually gone through. And it is a strength 2 versus toughness 6. So I need 6s here to wound. 1 is through. There's no AP, so the Captain gets his regular 3+ save. He saved it, and even with that ability, he would have been fine. So this is insane. The Gravis Captain has survived the hand-to-hand combat brawl from all of the Tyranid around him, and now he's going to be dealing some damage back. I'm going to be trying to take out the Von Ryan's Leapers, maybe the Parasited Mortrex, and then there's also the 2 Assault Intercessor Marines that can fight back as well. So I'm going to do that in just a sec on this camera too. But I will show you guys, I'll show you guys the outcome of that in a sec. But yeah, I'll roll that, and then we'll go back to my other camera. So let's see how this roll goes for the Gravis Captain and those Assault Intercessors. Okay, here we go. So this is the Captain and Gravis Armor fighting back now. So they were able to survive by some miracle, mostly due to the Gravis Armor that Captain is wearing. He's fighting back with his Mastercrafted Power Weapon first. I'm definitely not forgetting his Power Fist this time, so we're going to be having that next. But let's see how this goes. Hitting on 2+. All through. Amazing. So this might be when we start to get a few extra kill tallies here. It is a strength 5 versus toughness 5, so wounding on 4s. Another pretty good roll. We have 4 through, and the Mastercrafted Power Weapon brings our Von Ryan's Leapers up to a 6+ save, which is their invulnerable. And 1, 2 have died, and 1 has saved, but there's damage with that too, so we have 2, 4, 6 damage, which kills, I'm just checking the wounds here, 2 of those Von Ryan Leapers outright, and we still have his Power Fist to come. So I'll roll that in just a sec. These 2 guys are dead. Okay, now it is time for the Gravis Captain's Power Fist. So that is 5 attacks hitting on 2+. All through. Amazing. It is a strength 8 versus toughness 5, so wounding on 3s. 2 misses, but we have 3 through. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. It is a -2 to AP, bringing the Von Ryan's Leapers up to their 6+. and it saved none. So that's 2, 4, 6 damage against 2 wounds remaining on that Von Ryan's Leaper. The captain has fought back after surviving all of those attacks. With 1 wound remaining, he has taken out another unit. The Assault Intercessors are still going, and they're going to start fighting against the Parasite of Mortrex. And I'll show you guys the outcome of that. I won't roll it off. What do you guys think is going to happen? We'll see. I'm hoping that they can maybe deal some damage or kill it. So here we go. Be right back with my other camera to show you guys the outcome of that. Holy Dinah, that was one heck of a round by the Ultramarines. I thought for sure they were finished. Allocating all of those attack wounds to the captain was a great idea with that ability to have the damage as well as the invulnerable save. So even though he is down to 1 remaining wound, he was able to battle back a Screamer Killer, Von Ryan's Leapers, Ripper Swarms, and the Parasite of Mortrex. In return, they were able to kill the Von Ryan Leapers, and then the 2 Assault Intercessors actually killed the Parasite of Mortrex by themselves. So the Chainsword got a wound in, and then that Power Fist rolled super well and finished off the rest of it with 2 damage per attack. So it's back over to the Space Marines now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe run into combat against those Ripper Swarms, but they have a lot of wounds. No real point going this way because we have the Spore Mine there, which would explode and possibly kill my guys. I might actually go into hand-to-hand combat with the Screamer Killer. If I can take that out with these guys, I think that would be an amazing end to the battle. Unless they keep going. They fought that round. I thought they were dead for sure. So well done, Ultramarines. I might not be calling you guys Smurfs after this because you're fighting really well, but I think I'm going to go into hand-to-hand. Show you guys on camera the move. So my captain with 1 wound remaining is going in. My Assault Intercessors with that Power Fist and Chainsword are also in. So I'm going to roll this on the dice camera for you guys, show you guys how that rolls out. And maybe we can kill this thing and get a huge tally because the Imperial Fists were not able to do that. So if the Ultramarines can do that, it'd be awesome before getting consumed by the remaining Tyranid models. But a lot of the models that are remaining, not great. Other than that Turvagon, it's kind of scary, but we'll see how this goes. I'll go to my dice tray, roll off for this hand-to-hand, and let's see what these guys can do. Okay, here we go. So this is the Gravis Captain versus the Screamer Killer. They have taken the initiative by attacking first. If the Screamer Killer does survive this, I'm going to have its attacks most likely allocated to the Gravis Captain because of the ability and the save he has. But let's see how it does first. Maybe you can take this out. The Screamer Killer has 6 wounds left, so this is very possible for these guys to kill it. So let's see how it goes. 6 attacks, hitting on 2+. Only 1 missed. Fantastic. Strength 5, however, versus toughness 9, so 5s to wound. Got 2 through. That's also great. It is a -2 to AP, bringing the Screamer Killer up to a 4+. It saved 1, did not save the other, so that's 2 more damage allocated from the power weapon. Screamer Killer is down to 4 wounds. You guys can see that. And we still have the Gravis Captain's Power Fist coming up here, which is a much stronger weapon. So 5 attacks, hitting on 2+. All through again, rolling really well here at the end for the Space Marines. This is great. It is a -2, so that brings the Screamer Killer up to 4+ again. It saved several. 2 wounds are through though at 2 damage. So the Screamer Killer goes from 4 wounds to 2 wounds. And we still have the Assault Intercessors to go. I'm going to roll that off camera. I will switch back to my other camera and show you guys what happened. So what do you think? Do you think they're going to take it? Let's see. Be right back and show you guys the result. Alright, so just showing you guys the outcome of that. Sadly, the Screamer Killer survived. So they tried to put some wounds on it. It is down to 2. The captain in Gravis armor was killed. I was able to have the damage, but it wasn't enough with the invulnerable save with his 1 wound remaining, and the Screamer Killer finished him off during its counterattack. So the 2 Assault Intercessors, the last of the Ultramarine models for this fight. While I'm on camera, I'm just going to be moving this in. So the Screamer Killer with 2 wounds remaining has gone in. The Ripper Swarms have also gone in. And I will come back and show you guys the outcome of that. I'm also going to move the Gargoyles in around them too, because they are definitely within range, and that is open now for the fight. So I'll be right back and show you guys the outcome of this scrap. All right, so before I get into hand-to-hand there for the rules, just wanted to show you what is surrounding these two remaining Assault Intercessor Ultramarines. They have the Screamer Killer right in their face, the Ripper Swarms gnawing at their ankles, the Gargoyles have jumped over and flown down in around them as there is space now to be able to do so. They did a really great second kind of fight, second wind, last stand. I'm going to rule now, probably the Screamer Killer first, and I will come right back if there's some chance that these guys survived. Holy Dinah, they're great, but I'm going to roll for that Screamer Killer first, and we will see how this one ends. Okay, so just rolled off camera there for the hand-to-hand. The Assault Intercessors saved a couple of attacks from the Screamer Killer without an invulnerable save or any kind of ability to help them out. They were killed rather quickly by the Screamer Killer. So this is another last stand, this time by the Ultramarines. The Tyranid have broken into the facility again. A little bit of a different battle this time, so that was kind of cool. I'm hoping it's going to change out for each one that we do. The Ultramarines put up one hell of a last stand fight there at the end, and I'll show you guys the casualties for the battle just so we can tally that up. Not as many as the Imperial Fists, but they killed 2 sections of Von Ryan's Leapers, so 6 models in total. They killed one of the Ripper Swarm, not a full unit, but at least one was killed. 3 Termagants, 2 Spore Mines that they actually killed. Those did not explode this time. And then the Parasite of Mortrex. They were super close to killing the Carnifex. I was really hoping they'd be able to do that to kind of, you know, kill the queen of this Tyranid army if you're kind of comparing it to chess. They couldn't quite do it. A lot of the firing units too were kind of not needed this time by the Tyranid as the battle went hand to hand very quickly, and that toughness of my Space Marines had them in trouble pretty quick. So I am going to be putting Raven Guard in here at some point, and that gives me a good idea because Raven Guard and Phobos armor are going to be very similar to the toughness here. But they are pretty good in hand-to-hand combat, so that's going to be like Reavers and Cursors, things like that, and a little bit of shooting, so I think I'm going to make that a stronger hand-to-hand force to see if I can really repel. I might also start the Raven Guard in the facility a little bit further so they can get ready and maybe even push out some of the Tyranid against the walls. But when you get the Screamer Killer in there and the Turvagon, like the strength and toughness of them is crazy. So we'll see how the Raven Guard do. I'm thinking of them next unless you guys have a suggestion. But this was the Ultramarines. Not a great start, but I have to say they really put up a good fight at the end, and I'll put the tally up on the board to show you guys what units they killed. And if you guys want to see how they did in comparison to the Imperial Fists, you guys can watch my previous video and just let me know what you guys thought of this one. Thank you again. Please like, subscribe. Don't want your money. This is for fun. I love doing this stuff. It's just a great way to kind of chill out and have a good quick battle. And I might get some buddies over soon too to have one too, so we'll see what happens. But thank you again for watching so much. Finnigan 40K, and yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Take care and Happy New Year.